Mimi stared at the sea and said, "It isn't for me to step in the sea." But the moon was reflected as pebbles and lazy white ripples, so Mimi couldn't help but be tempted to slip off her nightdress and carefully lower herself into its waters. The sea felt like ice as it rose up her legs, caused her to gasp as it seeped in her bones, and to thrill up her spine as it swallowed her arms, stole all of her breath, and inhaled her whole. "The sea isn't for me," Mimi promised, but the moon was a saucer of milk and she was its cat. And so deliciously cocooned within a velvet liquid spilled moon, she could no more escape from its charms and hide from all the heartbroken dreams that poor little Mimi had had. "Hold me," she pleaded. "I want to feel." But the sea preferred play to soothing her troubles, and not caring that Mimi was frail as a flower, out of nowhere came a magnificent surge of mighty sea power, and poor little, tragic little, moon-bathing Mimi found herself rudely exhaled back to the shore and out of the sea. Thank you. That was Mimi. Thank you. Okay, so this is a new one. This one. It's called the Patapiens. Patapien, Patapien. Shh. Don't wake them. Patapien, Patapiens. Do not irritate them. Thin as thieves, they'll slip inside, dance naked in the candlelight, tip-tap upon your exposed toes, blow bubble bits right up your nose. They'll weave their pass in golden webs that shoot from feet like lightning threads. They'll scuttlebug, they'll sneeze, they'll fart, they'll loop, they'll scoop, they'll dodge a dart. They're not much bigger than a pin, and pins will stick into your skin and needles sew into your eyes. But wait! Here comes a surprise. They're waiting to put on a show, but only if you tell them so. Only if you give them cause to sneak in and give you night terrors. Better stuff your mouth with cloth the bird you get to make a fuss. Better yet, just go to sleep, for chance they get to hear you. Patapien, Patapien. Who woke them? Was it you? And did you also leave the window open? Are there cracks beneath your door or holes burrowed in your skirting boards? Have you seen a mouse of late, or do the raindrops penetrate? Do the woodlice scurry in? Oh, what's this I see? Evident negligence more extreme. Your cat flaps smashed to little pieces and birds. Why do they roost up in your rafters? Did you not think? Do you not know that the Patapiens live nothing more than to put on a show? Funambulists begin. Whoosh, they come on mini tightropes. Think acrobats with heads of gargoyles. They balance poised on sharpened sticks. Their skinny limbs flash by like whips. They whirl, they twirl, they flip, they flaunt. They know your dreams, they know what haunts. They know exactly how to pinpoint that which makes you itch, which makes you scratch, which makes you gasp, which makes you pee. But wait! Here comes the queen. She saunters in on mile-long stilts with pointy tips that prick your foot. In skinny fingers she does grasp fine bellows made of hide and brass. And as you open wide to snore, oh, I bet you do regret that you forgot to lock the door. She sucks, and as the bellows asphyxiating magic works, the Patapiens descend. But wait! If you're crafty, if you're quick, if victim playing does not float your boat but sinks it, then why not find a way to make this story flip? For did you not think, do you not know, that bellows do not suck but bellows bellow? And where must all that bellowed air go? So fill your lungs like bulging balloons with each sharp squeeze. Airways expand, heart rates increase, blood flows like lava to your brain until you're bursting to exhale again. Patapien, Patapien. I won't tell them. Patapien, Patapien. Oh, what a good job you left the window open. Because you are smarter than you know, and more than that, it is to creep when you inhale it afterwards. It must follow that you must blow. Patapien, Patapien. They shoot to the skies like hoovered up flies. They fuss and they rumble with no grease at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Such outrageous behaviours are not tolerated. 5, 6, 7, 8. Shocking advances of advantage takers. 9, 10. Patapien, Patapien. Shh. Don't wake them again. Thank you. One more before the epic Predator. Woo! I want to sing you a song or write you a letter. Try and put these feelings into form, into words, because there's something important that needs to be heard, and it's stuck there in my throat, a sweet, suffocating choke that I want to extract, but I can't seem to dig down far enough to reach inside and pull it out. And each time we meet in the street, wave, greet, or in some other way communicate, pretext, subtext, I'm never really quite sure what to expect. I could just blurt get us both hurt. Probably me. After all, I do seem to have an act for fudging up these things, and perhaps I'm just needy. Craving connection far too much, that's me. Greedy, often confused. Then ending up love stuff, bogged down, feeling blue. But then there's you, and then there's me. And then there's something in between that I can't help but find intriguing. And because I'm a sucker for that kind of thing, makes it hard to reject the prospect of making us my very next project. You, the one I've set my sights upon to fetch. But I'm a predatory beast, I get my kicks from deceit. I'm a rabid devourer, devoid of careful, considered or cautious behaviour. A hunter, a gatherer, an ardent obsessor, keen to detect and collect, desecrate and dissect anything catching my eye of a mysterious nature. And you're just a puzzle, a maze, a whole bunch of trouble, you're a craze. How I need to probe deep as hurled to my heap of extracted and captured and slaughtered disaster. So if you can run, I suggest you run. Faster, because I'm a bitch lame, my scent, I'm a wolf, so my seed. I'm an expert in suppressing impatient choosing frustration to build that heady right moment of perfect release, when the gun will be primed, when the stars will correctly align. If yes, a sacrificial right of magnanimous proportion, signed, sealed and delivered with the militant precision of a military execution. I'll be your cloud, I'll be your lonely. I'll be the box that locks you up and throws away the code and key. I'll watch you bleed, I'll make my feed. Because you're my muse, you're my drive, you're my fix, you're my ride, you're my insolvent solution, the soul crush of my soul crushing conclusion. My bespoke mismatch, my broken contract. So stop me, put a gun to my head, better that than to shoot dead the pleasure derived from just occasionally being together side by side by side. And if you won't do that, then I beg of you, hide! Thank you. I feel like you're just warming up. One more. Do you want one more before the epic one? One more?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'll do penny farthing. And then I'll do my epic. Since I have a captive audience. Penny Farthing was a local whore. She rode a bike around the town, wore men's breeches, belts and braces, painted ginormous moustaches, beauty spots and fake eyelashes upon the many different faces that Penny cared to thrust upon us. But Penny never owned a hat. She'd not the pennies to fetch one that she felt might complement her fair complexion, her fine cheekbones, her sweet stub nose, and what she took the greatest pleasure to indulge in, her bejazzed jewelled lip licking, bejazzed jewel tip tongue. Until the day did come along when Penny Farthing met her match on one who stood so very tall. He towered over our favourite whore, and that was even long before he tip-top-tapped, put on the beauty that was his great top hat. Oh my, Penny winked at him as she stuffed his pennies where the sun don't shine. What a girl would give for that, your great big massive huge top hat. The man, he shot her a cautious look as he grabbed his long cane by the long tip of his crook, nodded politely, said, "Good day to you," then clicked the tip of his well-heeled shoe and turned to head towards the door, tickled pink to find that Penny Farthing had managed to get there before. "I'll give you a farthing if you give me that." Penny's eyes were glued to his big top hat. "I reckon it looked good on me, so my complexion to a T. What do you say you take it off? You better, or I'll call my boss." As she spoke, she arched her back, proud, leopard-like, around the chap, bedazzled him with a bejewelled tongue, thinking that nothing at all possible would go wrong. ... Oh, I think not. His look turned sly, a wicked glint reflected in the corner of his eye. "Well, well," said Penny, "fancy that. A man too mean to give up his hat. Tell me what's a poor girl got to do to get that top hat off of you?" "I'll tell you what." He began to smirk. "Answer a riddle. That might work. You 3 tick-tocks to get it right." At this, Penny thought his eyes turned a rather peculiar shade of sinister bright. "But if you perchance to get it wrong, I'm afraid I'm going to have to snatch your soul." Well, Penny paused and Penny thought, and Penny decided that her pennies ought perhaps not go to where she put her mouth, for sharp as Penny in a penny toolbox had never really been her strong point if Penny was to tell the truth. But Penny girl, she loved a gamble, and that top hat, well, she really did think it might be worth the hassle. And though she didn't like his grin, which suggested that Penny he did not think might be the one to win, upon the floor did Penny drop, and she looked at him and said, "Yeah, why not?" Well, if you're sure. He seemed to glow as he opened his mouth for the riddle to flow. What scrubs up clean, what can be dropped, what sometimes flipped or brings good luck? Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick. "Oh, wait," cried Penny as a penny dropped, but she spoke too late, and the man went, ark. And then he roared a mighty roar, and flame shot out of every single orifice to smite poor Penny from where she sat upon the floor. Penny sizzled, Penny was smoked, Penny went up in a puff of smoke, a besozzled pile of bejewelled ash, upon which the devil placed at last the tip-tip-top, a tip-tip-tap, a tip-top, top hat. Cheers. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's quite long. The next one's very long. Okay. It's a battle. Oh my god! Right. I have competition. The battle between the Raven and the Phoenix on Ravensdale Hill. Here he is, the Raven. Oh, excuse my outrage, but it's 3 a.m. and I'm fed up and need to lay him bare, in order to make sure that everybody here can see him. He stalled me right when I was flying on fabled phoenix wings of light and gold and purest crimson. Each feather shone just like the sun, and every single barb of them an immaculate manifestation of all the effort I had put in to tame the beast that did not like taming. He tricked me into trusting him, and as I turned to face the sun, he swooped on me and plucked me bare. I'd come too light to fend him off. I had no fight, was not prepared. And having flown so very high, so much further had I to fall out of the sky. I thought he cared. I thought he would save me. After all, there came a time when he plucked me, though in quite a different way. When lost in battle, he had been there for me. But now, stripped naked, cold and scared, I found myself alone up there. And as I fell, naivety cried, call out, bring Raven to your side. But my Raven, he did not arrive. Instead, I landed on my knees, found myself grounded by the beast. It ate my hips, sucked up my spine, crushed both my legs, and all the time, my Raven flew away. My Raven flew away. It all began on a cold winter's day, when a woe tiding of magpies stole swift in low skies. There was frost in the air as they leapt thieves, plundering their fare from the sprawl sacrificed life at the lonely roadside. Its beak was a blessed relief as it brushed against mine, brisk, efficient, swift. It untethered the noose that trapped me for no other reason save to release a bird to the sky, until in the glint glare of a low winter's sun, his eyes met with mine, and at the flick of the switch, a bang of a gun, a can of worms was opened and a story begun. Your eyes, a pair of toys that demand to play. Can't tear your eyes away from me, a tribute touch to touch taboo. A place where words are inconsequential, and one long glance is more than ample to convey touching, but from a completely different angle. A steady gaze, an eyebrow raise. I failed to follow convention. I'd rather hail a rise of modesty and thwarted intention than to condone the secrets shared, and the mercenary lies that hide in the space that sits between, to elicit sets of playing eyes. I flew like a dove in the back of his false care and false love. My wings, my heart, they each beat as a drum. A tympanic rumble, a cymbalic thunder, the clash of the chime bells, a crash of the gong. I searched for him at each turn, at each corner, whenever I ate or I spoke or I looked at another. And though those who were wise told me I had little to offer to a cunning old raven, save a veritable feast to satisfy the ravenous core of his vanity's hunger, and didn't I know he as yet loved another? But my heart was too light, my wings too shredded with fire, to see for myself how far I might plummet if I flew any higher. Cassius knew, my friend. She comes as a wren, and now when I look back at that time, I do remember her waiting, mouse-like, in the wings, trying so hard to hold on to them. But the wren's home is the bushes and the sharp stone wall seems far away from the temptation of glorious flight and delectable dreams. Besides, love and the sun, they each of them blind, especially when stared at too long by one whose reason is clouded by a raven black form that is blocking that sun. He followed me here, he followed me there, though he never came near, he never went far. And how I yearned for a fix of those eyes that might hypnotise mine once again, for his claws to become tangled in the web of deceit that, as a new kind of trap, kept a poor foolish bird tightly tethered to him. How could I have known he was cunning? How could I have known he was vain? How could I have known I was nothing more than a toy to be toyed with, a game to get bored with, a distraction from all that was staid and mundane? And if I were to sing too loud, or become too bright or too crude for his taste, or worse, if his lover found out, or I encroached his terribly private and most personal space, and he'd swoop, and he'd chase, and he'd bleed this bird dry as a wall where Casey sat weeping silently, waiting for her sweet friend to fall. But I didn't know. I hadn't a clue. You have to believe me, else all that then followed would be my fault, which would break me. So the sun beckoned me higher, and higher I flew, basking in the affectation of the raven's attentions that honoured me still. And if only I'd had the sharp wit to observe that my magnificent rise had become less of a curious pleasure, more of a sadistic challenge to that raven black bird, then I might have been ready and better prepared. Instead of ditzy and doe-eyed, wit-frazzled and sun-blind, a bliss-ignorant fool hitching a lift on the back of an out-of-date love ride, as I sailed on the rays of a raging sun's glare. I turned my head towards the sun. I remembered the sky was a razor-sharp blue. I recall that butterflies were soaring inside my belly, whilst the air that was freezing was also hot too. I remember I imagined us talking, building nests. I dreamt we might travel. And when the first glint of warning came, which I did see in his eyes, I remember confusion, because I was 100% certain, I 100% knew he had come as a lover and he could never ever do to me the deed that indeed he'd flown up to do. And yes, I remember making that decision. I chose to decide that it couldn't have been a predatory glance I had seen, but only a low winter sun chick of a low winter's sunlight. I remember him circling. I recall wanting him near. And there was something about inhaling his scent, and how thrilling to think I'd been noticed and chosen, that I was the one, that I was the winner. Not for one moment did I stop and think my love might be taboo, that a raven already taken could never be a suitable mate for one anyway. As light as I come, as high up and up and up and up and up I flew, and then he swooped, moved in for the kill, and then he plucked, and then I fell. Words alone cannot convey how it was that I felt that day. Words alone are inadequate vessels to carry the weight of a heart betrayed, or to manage the monumental size of this broken bird's troubles. Words alone cannot suffice to explain either the pain of discovering my raven's work wasn't yet done, and there was as yet much, much, much worse to come. I fell in its mouth as I crashed to the earth. It snapped like the trap that it was and gobbled me up, now just a feeble excuse for a once upon a time magnificent bird. It ate my hips, it sucked my spine, it crushed both of my legs, and all the time my raven flew away. My raven flew away. But this story is old and was long ago now. And many seasons had passed since I shattered my teeth as I tore and I tore and I tore at that trap, and I fought and I fought and I fought for release. And over time I've licked each of my wounds, one by one, all except that which gnashes and chatters and rises into thousand weeps and cries, and will not allow me the peace that I need to rise from these ashes and fly back to the sun. And Katie has tried so hard. She's the best friend that I've never had. Often she sits upon my right shoulder, but of late she's preferred my left hand. And if only I was so much wiser, I'd listen to all she'd to say, note it all down, and refuse to allow old habits to alter the path of good grace that Casius tries to lay down for me. His smile is a basket of moonbeams, her touch is as soft as a dew. Her breath's made of wind and her heart's made of earth, and somewhere quite different between all of these, she's light as the air and she's warm as the sun, and when we walk together I am completely at home. Casius often lands on my chest where she'll whisper, "Lighten up, my friend, let him go." But the raven still flies far away in the distance, and he is bathing in my crimson gold glow. Oh, she knows he stole my wings from me. She just smiles, nods her head wisely, leaves me fresh feathers to find in the woods, breeze of my breath to calm down my mood. And if only I wasn't a fool, then I'd listen, because the time has come, it's true, I do know. And it isn't the job of the raven to free me, she is right. It's up to me to let my raven go. It's up to me to let my raven go. 4 a.m. already? Where does time go to hide when you're tossing and turning and trying so hard to get through the night? It's up to me to let my raven go. 5 a.m. But to let go is to let be, so they say. So how can I ever be free when he who scored wounds so deep is still free to taunt me? It's up to me to let my raven go. 6 a.m. Give me peace, grant me courage, love, wisdom, kindness, forgiveness. It's up to me to let my raven go. 7 a.m. But I'm only one person. Tell me, haven't I suffered enough? And even if I were to find all the above, wouldn't I need something else, something a little more final, something to separate the me from the us, to finish a fury that feeds and fuels my internal battle? It's up to me to let my raven go. 8 a.m. I call upon the shadows that lurk deep inside the glen. Excuse me. Come gather round, come tumble down, come get me off my feet again. Make me as a thunderbolt, make me as a trembling sun, make me as a rabid dog, and do not stop until you're done. Make me as a beast with wings that strips the air of all its breath, causes tidal waves to sweep the earth and rains to swallow all that's left. Hear these words, I pray to you, let me reap and burn what he did sow. The time has come, the chimes have rung, it's time to let my raven go. Who's behind me? Dark as night, a present shaped like child's play. They've songs for me and games for me, want me to laugh, want me to cry. They're decorating tales of me, sweet sweeps of stories on my feet. I turn around and could it be they're weaving feathers deeper, 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 deep down into my skin, and then I see. They're grit and dirt just like the earth. They're young, their hearts have yet to turn to stone. They know my soul, they bleed with me, their every movement keen to read the pain I wear upon my sleeve. As one we move, as one they breathe, we brighten, they lighten, brighten, pre my feathers streamline, tighten. They feed my rage with dancing words till finally their job is done. I cast them off and I emerge a phoenix brighter than I'd ever dreamed, with feathers strewn with blades of flame. They sever air like tender limbs of lamb, sacrificed to appease us gods who strike the hearts of those of us who dare to play love's brutal game. And with this gift of renewed strength, I rise. Oh God, I forgot the words. From ashes once dismissed as dust, a brightness now to rival even that of which the summer's sun does boast. I navigate and circulate, air's breath is hot as fire in mine. I murmurate and plummetate fast, rhythmic sweeps up and down around the sky. I beat my wings, I clash my claws, I dance a dance, must pumas wild, a vortex filled with rage and power, strength gathering by hour, by hour, by hour, by hour, by hour, by hour, till thunderous, victorious deliverance and sufferance, and bathed in glorious defiance, I strip off the blinkers that for far too long have suffocated my unhappiness, and I declare war! Silence, old raven! I will hear no more of your throbbing dark wings, of your tatabu call. I'll not stroke your curious head as it cocks to one side, nor tap your tip-tappity claw, nor steal a peek inside your hypnotic hued eyes. Be shushed, sweet raven. Your words are but empty shells on their shingle. You have no pearls of wisdom to goad my temptation or to test my good reason. Keep your beak for the rats. You're too weak for large prey. You tatabu, raven, farewell and good day. Steady there, raven. You weather the storms and you circle the skies, but let it be known, if you must feast on feast stolen, then I for one will not be your carrion. Being as I am a feast that is also forbidden, play silence, my raven, your tatabu deafening. You're boring me, raven, it swoops on my back, cause tatabu in my ear and spits his hackety, hackety, hackety cat on my cheek. Shoo, raven, shoo. I will scavenge your tongue. I will let it be known to each and all and everyone who might lend an ear to the cat squaw of your song that it is a lie of temptation from the unkindness of the raven, you trickster, my raven. But no croak will lay me down on heath soft as butter, nor open me up like the yielding egg that you creepily peck till it drips on the tip of your munches, beak and numerous that say the notch on your wing, and the saliva that meanders down a tatabu chin. Yes, tatabu raven, tatabu caw. Your talons are fierce, but you're the hunter no more. I'm tatabu raven, your sharp mouth is mine. A moment of thrill in my tatabu valleys of time. Tatabu raven, beat to my drum. I will feed till I split with say tension. I will gorge myself drunk. Tatabu raven, tatabu, such a sweet feast and so forbidden. Let me gobble up you. I went for a walk in heaven today. Well, there are worse places to lay down and die. I slipped off my boots and pulled at my hood, half exposed to the world and half shut off. Then I lay down and lay down and cried. I lay down and lay down and cried. Cassius came to my side and sighed. Hey, it's only a story. Or perhaps, I replied, but stories are dreams and dreams can come true, and wouldn't life be better if there was no need to fight and no need to kill? But Raven was wicked, she said. That Raven told lies. In many respects, I watched her reflect. He was even better at thieving than his sister, Magpie. Come, she nudged at my shoulder. It's time to go home. Here's a lid for those worms. I strongly suggest you forget all about this and put it back on. But I left those worms open on that lonely hillside, walked away to the lone croak of a lone raven's cry. And as I descended down Ravensdale Hill, the voice of that bird, it haunted me still, and I wondered then whether it wasn't the ghost of my raven that mocked, echoing over the steady waters of the frost-biting rivers where I trod, a cunning old raven who once, long ago, had freed a little bird trapped on Ravensdale Hill. I hope you can all concentrate, because that was really bloody hard for Puppies to listen to. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Thanks, Steph. Thanks for everyone coming along to support me. I know I bullied you all into it, but cheers. I really appreciate it.